Being good with credit cards is a skill, and today I'll be letting you know one of the top tips to raise your credit score that I wish someone had told me the moment I opened my very first credit card. I recommend watching this video in full so that you can get the entire context of this best practice and start implementing it immediately. So let's get started. First, it's important to know that credit cards run in a cyclical nature. So from one cycle to the next, things repeat. So here are some key dates that you need to know and look for on your credit card statements. The statement open date marks the start of a new billing cycle. So this indicates the start of the time frame during which your transactions will be tracked and recorded for that particular billing cycle. And then there's also the statement end date, which marks the end of a billing cycle. So this indicates when your transactions will stop being tracked and recorded for a particular billing cycle. For most people, the billing period time frame from the statement open date to the statement close date is around 30 days. Here's an example from one of my recent credit card bills, and as you can see, my statement open date was February 10th, 2023, and my statement close date is March 12th, 2023, and I have a 31-day billing cycle. Now, the date that you're probably most familiar with is the payment due date, and this is the very last date that you can make a payment on your credit card without having to worry about incurring any potential interest charges if you do not pay the balance off in full. And in my example, my payment due date is listed as April 4th, 2023. And you'll find that the typical time period between the statement close date and the payment due date is around 21 to 25 days, but this can vary greatly just depending on your credit card issuer. So you'll want to download your credit card statements to understand how these dates fall for you. Now that you know the basics of your credit card statement, let's cover the best time to pay. And at the very minimum, you should be paying your entire credit card balance off in full by the payment due date every month. This is so that you can avoid incurring interest on your balance. According to Forbes, the average credit card interest rate is 24.25%, which is just insanely high. And you'll want to make sure to avoid paying any interest on your balance by making sure you pay off your entire credit card by your payment due date. But if you're looking to raise your credit score, then I would recommend seeing your payment due date as more of a very last chance date, and instead put more emphasis on the statement closing date. And here's why. Every month, your credit card company reports your credit utilization to the three major credit bureaus, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, and they report based on the amount on your credit card as of the statement close date. Now, this is really important to note because your credit score is made up of 5 major areas: payment history, credit utilization, length of credit history, credit mix, and new credit. The factor I want to highlight is credit utilization, which just indicates the total amount of credit card debt you are carrying relative to the total amount of credit available for you to use. And credit utilization makes up 30% of your credit score, and as a general best practice, you want to make sure that your credit utilization is under 30% total. To illustrate this, let's assume that you have a credit card with a $10,000 limit and you have $5,000 on that credit card as of the statement close date. Now, this would put your credit utilization at 50%, which is very high and indicates to lenders that you could be more of a risk. So when this 50% utilization is reported to those credit bureaus, that could have a negative impact on your credit score. And also, just to help put this a little bit more into perspective, according to bankrate.com, the average credit utilization of people who have a perfect credit score is 6%. So the lower that you can get your credit utilization, the better that is going to be for you. Okay, so before I get into any more details, if you're enjoying this video so far, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more personal finance content. Okay, so what does this mean practically for you? I just want to be clear that I'm not saying that you need to pay off your entire credit card by your statement close date, but it is helpful to monitor your credit utilization and keep it under 30% to indicate to the credit bureaus that you are handling your money wisely and to help boost your credit score over time. This means that if you are planning on making a large purchase on your credit card, then I highly recommend that you go into your account and make a payment toward that balance to bring it down lower prior to your statement close date so that you are not reporting a high utilization to the credit bureaus. And while this is an extra step to check and monitor your credit utilization, I highly recommend that you get into the habit of this if your main objective is to raise your credit score. And also, whenever you get a new credit card, I would recommend that you understand your billing period, that billing cycle, and figure out your statement close date. Work to keep your credit utilization low and you will see positive changes in your credit score. Being good with credit cards is a skill, and I will always tell you to treat your credit card as if it's a debit card and do not put anything on your credit card that you cannot actually afford to pay off in time. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop a comment below. I read and respond to every single one of my comments, and I'm always happy to help you. And next, check out my video about money habits that you can implement this year to boost your overall financial health. See you next time.